Okay, so I'm not even kidding you when I tell you right now that I'm working out of my kitchen on the floor, but Arlo doesn't want to sleep right now. So this is how I'm going to have to do this. Otherwise, Ryland's going to get up and I can't accomplish anything. So I'll do what I can, and Arlo's just sitting there kind of watching me, kind of watching TV, so it's fine. I just have him behind the baby gate. So this is going to be another requested tutorial. This one is for making your lips appear a little bit larger. I like mine the way that they are. I think the size works for me. So I don't normally try and do these things, but I did kind of research it a little bit and find things that I guess are tips and tricks that you're supposed to do. As far as making my own lips larger, the only thing that I think I actually do is, you probably won't notice, but I do. I know my face really well because I look at it all the time and I do makeup and I have to find what works for me. When I do my lipstick, and I use a matte lipstick almost always, I notice that when I apply it, this side right here just seems to be a little bit thinner, so I try and build it out a little bit more over my actual lip line. And that's kind of the basis of what we're going to do here. I'm going to try not to go too crazy because I think it's going to look really weird on me, but I want you to take the things that I'm telling you and kind of work it into your own. You can try all of them at once, you can try a couple here and there, just find what works for you and ultimately what makes you happy and feel confident. So one of the first things I would do is take a foundation or concealer, something of the sort, because personally my lips, I can see my lip line, but it'll be just a little bit red outside of that, and I think it looks really weird, like my lips are irritated even though they're not. Just to kind of cover up that redness. If you don't have that and you just have lip line, then I wouldn't even worry about that until afterwards. And that's only if you make mistakes. That's a good way of correcting it. When I said that I use matte lipsticks, I don't suggest them for making your lips appear larger. What I do suggest is using like shimmery colors, lip glosses, stuff like that, just because the extra shine and shimmer is going to reflect a lot more light, and in turn it's going to make your lips appear larger. I don't wear a lot of gloss, but to each their own. I like my dry matte lips that just don't go anywhere. But that's not everybody's thing. They like comfort and everything else. So I'm just going to kind of show you things that I've kind of looked into and should be able to help you. So I guess without further ado, the first thing I think I'm going to do, if I can find it. Here we go. The first thing I'm going to do is take this white eyeliner. I got it from Hot Topic forever ago. Makeup does have a shelf life. I don't know if eyeliner does, and I really don't care. I'm just going to use it anyways because I have it on hand. I'm going to go into my Cupid's bow right here, which is this little tiny M shape that you have or may not have, but this is where I'm going to be working, is just this little area. And bring my mirror a little bit closer so I can see what I'm doing because I don't have my glasses on. So I'm going to go outside of my lip line. It's okay if you get a little bit inside. It doesn't really matter because we're going to blend it anyhow. So you see how this little V here? That is also part of reflecting light and making your lip just look more puffed out. Like if your lips are bigger, the light would hit on top of it. And that's kind of the illusion that you're going to go with here. I'm also bringing mine up a little bit to look kind of like a field goal post, I guess. And you don't have to. I've seen it done a lot, so I'm going to go with that. Again, it's trial and error what works for your face. My lips are not your lips, and what I'm comfortable wearing might not be what you're comfortable wearing. So it really is just figuring out what makes you happy. I'm just going to take a finger and just kind of blend it in a little bit. And I think, like I said in my last video, less is more. So I mean, put a small amount on, and then if you're still not comfortable with it, put more on, because it's a lot easier to build up makeup rather than take it off. Okay, so what you can also do if you don't want to use this, if you don't want to use the white eyeliner, or if you don't have white eyeliner, or I guess, I don't know, if you just want, if you have a highlighter on hand and you want to use that instead, anything. We're going to basically do the same thing, and take the small brush, kind of do the same thing. I'm going to take a liquid highlighter, and I guess you could use a powder highlighter, but I only have liquids, although I do kind of want to get into powders. And I'm just going to take a little tiny brush that I have here, really, really small, and I'm going to go over the same thing that I did with the white eyeliner. And like I said, you can stack them, or you can just do one or the other. And I'm just going to go in the same spots. I used to try and do this with my finger, and it always added way too much. And I couldn't get the definition of the little tiny, I don't know, field goal that I was going for. And the same thing, I'm just going to take my finger and blend it out a little bit, and you can build up. Whatever makes you comfortable. And I actually really like that, so I'm going to leave it. Just wipe my hand off on dish towel over here. So that could be one trick that maybe that's all you need to do and it helps you out. Another trick, and I tried this previously and it just worked out terribly for me because, like I said, I don't want my lips much bigger. I think it looks really weird, but for the purpose of trying to do this video, I'm going to take a nude lip liner, because what you want to do is go with like a more natural lip color look, I guess. You want to stay with light colors on your lips. The same thing applies with like wearing dark clothes. They're supposed to make you look thinner. If you're wearing like a dark bold color on your lips, it's going to give the illusion of smaller lips, and not to mention it's really hard to make it look good using such a dark color. I think playing with lighter colors actually gives you a little bit of play, and you don't have to be as perfect with it. The worst color I ever apply to my lips is black, and it takes me probably at least a good solid half hour just to get that absolutely right. And if it doesn't, then I wipe it off, and then my lips are irritated and I'm miserable. So I'm going to take this nude color lip liner, and what you're going to want to do for yourself, if you have a smaller top lip, just go just barely like a pencil tip outside of your top lip. And the same thing with your bottom lip. If you have a smaller bottom lip and you want to make that look larger, then take that same color lip liner and just go barely outside the bottom of your lip line. And I wouldn't go too crazy because it's going to look really weird if you do that. And some girls do, and they're fine with it. And I guess if you do that and you're fine with it, then go right ahead. I'm not here to judge. I'm just trying to give you, I guess, just insight, things to kind of teach you. For me personally, after just saying all that, I'm going to try and stick to my lip line as close as I can. And yeah, I guess I'm just going to try and do that. Sorry. Another reason for you to use lip glosses and shimmers and everything else like that in the process of making your lips look bigger isn't just for the shine and shimmer and reflection of light. It's also because if you were to use a matte while you're trying to overline your lips, it's going to show exponentially more so than it would if you were using like a lip gloss. You will most certainly see where your lip line is and where you completely overline. So using a gloss or a shimmer is going to kind of minimize that for you. And I do get some people that ask me what colors they should be using, and I mean, I didn't know what color to use at first. I just kind of went with reds because that's the look I wanted to have, was that pinup style. But more recently, I'd probably say within the last few months, I really branched out and just, I want every single color that exists ever. If you're just new to lipstick, then I would most certainly stick with like nudes and light colors and stuff like that, just subtle. If you're doing like a heavy smoky eye, kind of like what I've done here, keep it light on the lips. I think a bold lip and a bold eye just looks crazy, but to each their own. But if you're looking for a new starter color, then try and stick with maybe like 2 shades darker than your actual lip, maybe. If you really want to experiment with just different colors, I would suggest getting the Wet n Wild lipsticks. They're not transfer proof or anything, but they're super cheap, and it might give you an idea of the shades that work for you. And if you don't want to go that route, then you can always go to Sephora and try out their products. I think also you can do the same thing too, but I like Sephora a little bit more when it comes to trying colors on. So I'm going to go ahead and do my bottom lip, and with my bottom lip, it's fine, but I'm going to actually try and do a little bit of a fuller bottom lip, so I'm going to try and stay tight line close to my actual lip line here, and then kind of draw it out a little bit at the bottom. And you can even take like a brown eyeliner and kind of like put lines here to kind of darken it and make your lip look like it's setting out more. And if the light's hitting it, again, earlier, it's going to make your lip look pushed out more if the light's hitting on top of it. And if there's a darker shade down here, it's going to look like the light is hitting your big full lip and creating a much darker shadow underneath. And just make sure that you blend that out so it doesn't just look like you colored it on your face. And I'm just using... Don't talk when you're doing this. I'm just using small light strokes to kind of get the idea, the feel of where I want my new lip to be, and it doesn't have to be perfect. That looks so strange. And what you can do if you want, you can fill in your lip with your lip liner, and it'll also hold whatever color you're putting over your lips a little bit better. And girls will do this for their ombre effect. I hope I pronounced that right. And I've done that in the past with my dark red lips and having like an ombre effect where I keep it darker on the outer edges and a little bit lighter on the inside, and that's going to kind of do the same thing of making you appear like you're having, like you have bigger lips, I guess, because it is lighter in the center, and that's ultimately what you want. You don't have to do this, it doesn't matter. You can try it. If you don't like it, don't do it. It's all up to you and what you're comfortable with. So I wasn't sure what color I was going to use because I mostly stick to bold colors on my lips now, and that doesn't work so much in this tutorial, and it doesn't actually look like I've... Okay, I guess I do have one of my colors here. Okay, I'm going to use this color that I actually really don't care for, but I do have it on hand. It's Too Faced, it's melted. I got it in an Ipsy bag. It's peony, melted peony. The only reason I don't like it is because I was under the impression that it's supposed to kind of dry to your mouth, and mine never really has. And I don't like that. And I wore it a couple times, and it just seemed to kind of absorb into my skin, and by the time I came back from Walmart, like an hour later, it was just gone. And I hadn't even done anything. I didn't eat, I didn't drink, nothing. So I'm going to use that because I think it's going to help in what I'm trying to show you. So I'm just going to apply it to my lips. And if you're new to lipstick, take your time. It's just I've done my lips so many times that I kind of have an idea where I'm working. And the main reason I'm using this is because it's not a matte color. Although I actually really like it now that I've applied it with this lip liner. And they're not the same color, they're similar, but I really like that. I hope my lips look a little bit bigger to you. Sorry. Whew, I gotta move. My foot fell asleep. It's very uncomfortable. So, I mean, you could kind of leave it like this. It looks like my highlight that I had on my face a little bit earlier kind of isn't there, so I'm just going to reapply that. And you can apply makeup as many times as you want, so long as it's still comfortable to you and doesn't feel cakey. I hope you can see that, and it actually looks the way that it should. What you can also do at this point to add a little bit more of a shimmer to your lips, you could take a liquid highlighter, or you could take a powder, or you can take a shimmery lip gloss. I mean, I got this one in Ipsy too, and you know what? I think I might even just use that for the basis of this, because it's so shimmery. Like, it's kind of see-through, and I don't like it, so I think it would be best worn over something else, and I'm actually planning on giving it to my mom, so this is the last time I'm using it, and then it's yours. And what you want to do, because this is still kind of glossy, I don't need to put a gloss anywhere else, but you see how the light's reflecting off basically the middle of my lip? That's kind of where I'm going to want to keep this. I hope that made a difference in the video. So, yeah, I mean, I hope my mouth looks bigger, I guess. I hope you learned something, some tricks, tips. Put a little too much gloss there, sorry. Let me know what you think. I did get a thank you from my last video that I did, and that's really the only reason I'm doing this, is simply for friends of mine and Facebook acquaintances, the sort, to just kind of get a feel for things, and hopefully the most simplistic way I can show you. I feel like a lot of YouTube videos and stuff like that will not really go over why you're doing things and why they're supposed to work. So, I don't know. If you have any requests for new videos, then let me know. And again, if you learned nothing or it turned out terrible, then let me know as well, and I just won't do these things, but I've had to request now, and I like it. I just hope that you learned something. So, thank you, and let me know what you think. Thanks.